It's the six past commandments. I mean, oh goodness. Had a little too much dip on my chip. Oh my gosh. Six past commandments here, man. Six past dice, man. It's aka Mr. Lane. How y'all doing? It's the six paths of health. On this channel, we talk about the six paths of health. We look at health from a holistic standpoint. The six paths of health are physical, mental, spiritual, financial, social, and creative romantic. Those are the six paths of health. We look at what goes in versus goes out. So I like to look at it as I separate every path into diet and exercise. So what you take in financially, what you give out financially, what you take in spiritually, what you give out spiritually. Okay, so that's kind of the line of logic that we have when we look at everything on this channel. So I battle rap. I've been battle rapping since 2014, on and off. Can't say I took it super serious, but I'm taking it serious now, and I am an active battle rapper. I'll be battling Benji Corfreshi from Chain Gang on August 6th in Brooklyn. More details to come on that soon. I'll be battling on OTR Battle League in the Twitter Spaces versus Vibe Rock on the 21st, and I have Six Paths Dice versus P Bills on Global Rap Cypher with my man D-Rock. I hope I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm sorry, D-Rock. I got to stay. Oh, goodness. That's a crazy sneeze. I wanted to do a little reaction. I don't have the video right here. I'll put the link to the video in the description. I thought we can touch on this real quick. So the video is a response to a Kendra G video that came out a while back where a young lady called Kendra G's show and basically was trying to shame her or shame Kendra G for her interactions with black women. So in the black community, again, is this thing where it's okay to tell a black man who he is, give him an identity, tell him who he is, tell him how he comes off, and just pretty much just tell him, just give him information, whether it's true or not, whether it's or even like not even that. Like we made it cool to just lie to black men about who they are. You know, as a black man, I've been told my whole life by society and by everyone around me that, yo, you stupid, you dangerous, you're gonna go to jail, you sell crack, you're a gangbanger. You got basically it's this uphill battle of trying to prove that you're not a savage and that you're worthwhile. And that's one of the reasons why I always say that's one of the reasons why American black guys are so cool and so emulated. Because we have to try so hard, try so hard to be accepted, whether it's by our own peers in our own community all the way out to the world. So black men are not really accepted nowhere for just who they are. Of course, every man from every group has to try and make an effort in order to be admired and be a respectful guy. But black men in particular, it's not really no winning, with us in terms of just people in general, which is why it's so important for men. Do your work. The only answer to all your problems is to be excellent. That's it. You will kill yourself worrying about things you can't control. Only thing you can't control is your productivity, your opinions, your act. No, I'm not opinion. I'm sorry. Your thoughts, words, and actions. Those are the things you can't control and that you can work on. Beethoven, when Beethoven wrote "Ode to Joy," he lost his hearing, and I bet when it happened, he was like, "All right, dog, I can't. Ain't that about a bitch? I can't hear anything." Well, I still gotta do this work. I still gotta do my work. Y'all still gonna get these bars? He was right. He still was like, man, I'm writing these notes to Ode to Joy. He's like, man, shit about to be fire. It's going to be flames. He still was doing his work. He was in such bad shape. His hearing got to a point where when they performed Ode to Joy, someone had to come and turn him around so that he can see the crowd cheering for him because he was conducting, right? So that he could know he couldn't even hear the crowd cheering and clapping. I don't know how you don't hear the vibration, but he couldn't even hear that. Why? Because he was so focused on his work. So men gotta just do their work. But anyway, so the video, this is a reaction to a reaction. So the reaction video was this this older black woman who knows where she came from, who knows what her background is. I mean, I don't know. And she wasn't necessarily being nasty, but it's like this thing whenever we talk about relationships in the black community, it's always like there has to be slights towards black men from black women, especially if it's like in relation to any kind of standards or expectations from the black male counterpart, right? So in the original video, the young lady calls in and whatnot, and basically she calls in. She doesn't call in because, now mind you, she calls in and breaks the rules. The rule is that you're calling in because you want to be on a dating show and you want to make yourself known to people who may be interested in someone who fits your description and demographic and things of that sort, right? That girl came on there basically to get on Kendra G and basically talk to her as if she's this bully. And she's bullying women, and she's trying to force women to take more than what they're worth. And it's something you hear constantly online. And before Mrs. Samuels passed away, I remember having a conversation. Now, mind you, let's just really think about what this means for how this woman sees me as a man and what respect level she thinks she has to bring to me as a man, and how she sees my thoughts and opinions. Right? We're in my bed, right? And first, I think she was like, "Oh, you be watching stuff like the Joe Budden podcast, and Kevin Samuels." And I was like, maybe when I was younger, I would have backed down, or maybe I would have kind of fell back. But I was like, nah, man, it's not a healthy interaction for you to be in my house and be telling me what media I can consume and what I'm supposed to be entertained by and identify with, and that's another issue. In our community, our women feel like they can tell black men what to like. Despite whether it's inconvenient for me or not, when I was broke, I understood that I don't have it like that. I'm not where I should be in life, so therefore I'm not going to have this grandiose idea of myself where I think I'm supposed to get someone that's a supermodel, or I should be waiting for a supermodel. Don't get me wrong, I could have been more ambitious. Well, for the most part, I fell back from women when I was rebuilding myself, and I had a relationship or two. But for the most part, I fell back from dating until I made a certain amount of money, and I was on my way to being able to be on my own and support myself fully without any kind of help. And because I knew that that's the only way for me to have a good relationship is for me to be on my own. And again, I always say, the only answer to your problems, men, is to be excellent, is to be great. That's the only way. And it will continue to be the only way. You understand? So we're having a conversation. So she says these things, right? And I say, no, Mr. Samuels has changed my life. What you mean he changed your life? He was on. So basically, she brings up a scenario where a woman who was 37 years old, 2 children, she said, this woman called on there. She was 37 and she had 2 kids. And he told her he's trying to get her to settle, and she also made a point about, we won't even go there. And and I think she might have brought up the scenario, and I think we started talking more about it. I said, well, how old was she? She's 37. I said, how many kids? She got 2 kids, and she's overweight, right? If that kind of man is not looking for her, how was it settling? Cause I think that I think the women, like they always say, they will like a man that makes 6 figures, or like a man that's high earning. There is nothing wrong with you wanting a man to make good money. Nothing's wrong with that. But if you're telling someone, you're on someone's show, but thousands of people can see you saying that for you to be able to date someone, for you to be able to take a man serious, he has to make 6 figures, when most of the country don't make that. A majority of men don't make that. I think 20% of men, only the top percent of men make that, and they're not all single. A lot of them are married. Because in order to make that kind of money, you have to be conservative thinking, right? You need a strong support system, especially if you're a little older. Because we didn't put an age demographic on who earns this kind of money. Older men earn this kind of money, not young men. How many jobs can a young man do where he can earn this kind of money? The average income for a black man in this country is $41 to $43,000, and we're gonna move forward $10,000 towards white men. White men, according to a 2018 statistic, they make $51,000. So just to adjust for inflation, maybe people are earning more money. We'll say maybe $53,000 a year. So it's about So white men on average make about $10,000 more a year than black men. So white men don't white men ain't a bunch of white most white men are not making 100 grand. Okay, especially the ones that y'all dating. Like all this, there's this myth in our community that for one that all men want to marry and be with black women. That's not the case. Black women are married at a rate of 25%, and that number is also based on older women who are in their 60s and 70s. And when they die out, if things keep going how they're going, that number's gonna come down to about 15 to 17%. And we're married at a rate of 25% now. We're the least married women. Our black women are the least married group. It's not an attack. It's just a fact. Our women leave their relationships at a rate of 80%. They initiate divorces at a rate of 80%. So not only are our women the least married, but they leave their relationships. So these are just simple numbers, right? And we're having this conversation, and and she had the nerve to say settle. I'm looking at her like, you don't even have a man. You in my bed. Like you don't have it. Like I'm like okay, so where are all the men that's trying to be with you? This is the same person who told me a whole story about having a whole storyline with a dude who didn't have a car or his own place. And I'm like, well, you have education, right? You making okay money, But I'm just saying, like you have these things that God think men want. Men don't want you to be out of shape. Men don't want you to be not uncooperative, and men don't want you to be unknowing or just unaware of what men want. It's very awkward. It's weird, actually. And now that black men are comparing notes online, we have a chance to talk about these things and the fact that, hey, you know what? We don't want this stuff. We don't want. I don't mind Lil Weave. I'm not a hater of it, not like that. But I mean, we do want you to be able to wear your real hair. You know what I mean? Another reason why you don't see women wearing their real hair no more, because y'all got to where y'all stop doing your hair. And also, our women got to where you're too big for your hair to be in proportion with the size of your body. It's kind of interesting. Most women, their hair is in proportion with the size of their body. All right. If not, they need to cut it or just go ahead and style, do something to it, so that it can look good. But I'm like, men want to see you look good in your natural state. We didn't ask for nails. We didn't ask for you to wear long lashes. We didn't ask y'all to shave your eyebrows and draw them on. No, men didn't ask for that. That stuff comes from y'all listening to each other and gay men. Okay, because straight men didn't ask for any of that stuff. We don't mind it. We'll take it. It's whatever. It's not a big deal, really. But we didn't ask for that stuff, And it was just crazy that we was having this conversation, right? And it was just like what I thought as a man and the person that you want to get a relationship from, you were so not in tune with what I'm about, what men are about, and what men want. Another point she made was she said a man just want to make all the money so he can tell that woman what to do. And I'm like, how the hell would you know? You not related to no men who get money. You're not related to no men who are high level providers. You're not around nobody like that. So how would you know what men with money do? Okay, like men who are high earners, they tend to be more conservative unless they're like some kind of personality or a party promoter, just something that's unconventional. If they had to go to school to do what they do, they tend to be more conservative leaning, and they're not all trying to be out in the street, because we know that, my legacy is at stake when I'm being undisciplined with my penis. And I'm just sleeping with a bunch of different women. You know what I mean? The aim is not to be promiscuous. Of course, yes, those men have more options. And of course, yes, we will go for easy kills. We will go for easy kills sometimes. It doesn't mean that women will have an experience with a guy of high status or high value and then think that, oh, this is my new standard. This is going to happen. Or this is how it's going to be every time I meet a man. That's false. It's not how it goes. You got lucky that time. That's just what it is. Okay? But I think that's another reason why our average women who are overweight, they feel entitled to a high earning man, or they'll just try to make up these reasons, or you keep hearing. So I'm sorry. So I'm getting a little off track here. So in that original video, that's the main thing the young lady was saying, and Ken was like, "You call into my show, you watch my show." The young lady says, "Yeah, I watch your show and whatnot, but it's you can't be telling black women what they should want and what they can get." And I'm like, ma'am, these women can't get, these women are not, no one's trying to marry these women. When are y'all going to, again, like we've gotten to where the world is so upside down that we go against reason. There is so many videos of panel discussions with men and women, and we talk about things. There's so many women that can't have a logical discussion, and they will make a point based off of how they feel about something rather than what the facts are. You'll present them with the facts, and they will still try to talk in the direction of, well, I feel like Vada Fly gonna recap this and say Gotti caught a 30 on the down, bro. I had to say that. I'm sorry. It's the battle rapper in me. But you'll have these conversations with some women and like, yo, they and again, I think a lot of it comes from, it depends on the men in your family. Because you learn to be logical and self-aware from dad. I was only around my dad, living together for a quick second. It was the best thing that could have ever freaking happened to me. Because that's when I learned to be self-aware and more comfortable with facts and the truth. The more comfortable we are with facts and the truth, the more that we can do problem solving. Now I understand, the same way my love and empathy is limited because I'm a man. It has to be limited so I can do what I have to do. A woman's capacity to love and have empathy and care and grow things, it so far exceeds my own. Okay, but the logical aspect, the reality is this: women have limited abilities to be logical because they're emotional beings. That's their right. They're made to be that way. Okay, but again, not having a complete family unit, we have so many women who only deal in their emotions, and they don't look at the things or realize they have a bias towards things. Okay, a personal bias. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, we back. So a lot of people don't realize that when you are in a more emotional state, you have a bias towards a lot of different things, especially if you don't train yourself to be self-aware and objective about things, even if it concerns you. So on some level, it also means that you're not able to humble yourself. So the girl goes on and on, giving these examples and whatnot, and the reality is that those women feel like that. They get upset and they try to say, "Oh well, who are you to tell black women what they can get? If she's making 100,000, then she should get a mess." Or the lady that's in the video I'm talking about in terms of the reaction to the reaction, right? She is saying, we know what we want. Don't tell us what we want. And she's making this argument of Kendra is pushing them and convincing them to take less. Most of the women who come on Kendra's show are overweight. Most of them have 2 or 3 kids. Most of them have a lot of baggage. Most of them are not willing to really bring much of anything to the table for a relationship. Barely. And as far as the videos that go viral, I'll put it like that. So I'm like, in those videos, she's, again, why don't y'all think that, you think these men who made this kind of money don't have requirements? Okay? And then that same breath, the lady who's doing the reaction, she says at the end, I want a man to have his stuff together. I don't want to have to take care of you. I don't want to do this, do that. And women who get men who are doing well never have to say, I want a man that can take care of himself. I want you to be able to pay for yourself. Because wouldn't that be a given? That's the same as me saying, I want a woman that showers every day. That does her nails, and keeps her house and her car clean and stuff like that. And it's like, don't get me wrong, that can be a concern and that can be something to be thinking about. But I would think a woman would hear that and say, who you been dealing with that don't take a shower? Who you been dealing with that don't keep their place clean? Or I want a woman that's not going to try to sleep with my friends and be trying to text my friends and flirt with my friends and stuff like that. I don't want no woman that tries that got sticky hands and and be trying to get my debit card and make unauthorized purchases. You would be like, hold on, 6 pack nice. What's going on here? Do you need to see a 6-pack therapist? That's what you'll be wondering if I'm talking like this and I'm saying this is what I don't want, or I'm mentioning these things, because the stuff that we talk about, listen, let someone talk long enough and they will tell you their whole story. It doesn't matter what they're talking about. It does not matter, okay? And again, the woman making this video, and it's always an overweight woman making these videos. And again, we not hating. Listen, I'm a big dude. I get it. I understand, right? But at the same time, the men who make this kind of money, if he made more than 60K, he don't want no big woman. He don't want no average looking woman. Okay, like we gotta stop this shit where we talk about the income and how a woman's income correlates to her day. A woman's income has no impact on what kind of men will like her. You know what men care about a woman's income? Is men who need your money. Okay, because like, listen, I don't need help from no one financially to have my quality of life. And my quality of life will continue to improve because I'm actively working on that. So women's income, don't get me wrong, is nice. If I'm looking at her from a holistic standpoint, I'm not looking at her for her income. She ain't no man. She's not my provider. So why do I keep talking about income as if when men talk about a woman, they say, yeah, bro, no, she make $80,000 a year. Dudes will never dap another dude for how much his girl make. Okay, because her resources are not your resources. Or it's not socially acceptable for you to assume access and entitlement to her resources. Of course, if y'all together, she's going to share it with you. I'm not saying that she makes more money, that she should be emasculating him either. I'm not saying, I don't think her money should have a huge bearing on the relationship either, as long as he's playing provider and he's providing for the family and for the household and stuff like that, and also giving his 4 P's. Shout out to the Crim Secure. His protection, provision, procreation, and problem solving. As long as say the 4. As long as he's giving us 4 P's, that's the most important thing. Okay, because you need all 4 for a woman to really feel like she's in a good, healthy relationship. And there's different levels to a man's 4 P's. Okay, that's the most important thing. But this is not healthy for women who are unsick. And again, not even that. How do y'all not realize or correlate that you're not successful with men? Men are not vetting you to be their wife. That's the ultimate flex. That's the ultimate flex. And that's another reason why, again, us trying to kill all norms, all gender roles, trying to convince women that convince women that again, you don't need a man. I mean, y'all do. Because most of y'all don't got it like that. And again, I keep hearing this thing about she making $100,000. She want a man making $100,000. Fam, listen. 9% of all of you make over $75,000. 9%. Not 30, not 40, not 50, not 60. 9%. The median income is not even $40,000 for a black woman in this country. And I'm not saying that the issue on black women. The point is just that, why are y'all walking around with these egos and getting on dating shows and trying to? It's like you're talking to yourself. It's not. You're not even looking for a real person. When I made $50,000 a year, and that was a lot for me at one point because I never made that much before. I came a long way. When I made that much, like my thinking changed. But at the same time, I knew that I didn't qualify for a supermodel. Or I didn't qualify for, for the top percent of women, and I would be foolish to do so. I mean, I could dream because a man's pursuit is a little bit different because a man is supposed to be able to go against the current and make his own way, or go or separate from the group and make his own way at times, because we have the skill set to do so. In terms of what we're given from birth and whatnot. But a man has to have sex. A man has to procreate. All right, so a man has to be logical about what he can and can't get. Sometimes guys gotta take L's, man. Sometimes you gotta downgrade if you want to survive. Because same way women have to get attention, men gotta get a little bit of sex. It don't gotta be a lot, but you gotta get a little something. And even that's kind of a slippery slope. But it's just, I wanted to just react to it because it's like, man, we gotta. I always say that we gotta protect Kendra G at all costs, but Kendra G is creating a lot of content for people to respond to, and I guess people are calling it like, comparing it to Kevin Samuels because she's putting the time in and she's talking to mostly black women, and they all are kind of saying the same thing, mostly the same thing. A majority of the women who have gone viral on that show are not women that you see and say, "Oh my gosh, she's such a great catch." And I'm not itching on them. I know I'm not saying the guys who call on there are the best either, but it's not like this is the conversation, the sentiment, or what's being communicated is is similar to what you hear a lot of so-called modern women saying. It's always entitlement. It's always you got women who get angry if you ask them what they bring to the table. That they'll basically call you gay. People have done street interviews where you just ask women, "What do you bring to the table?" and they mostly say sex. I bring sex to the table. I bring myself. I bring my vagina to the table. And most black men have experienced a woman basically saying, "Listen, the most you're going to get from me, the highest level of interaction I can give you, the most you can get from me is sex, and everything else is out of the question." When a woman's body is supposed to be her most prized thing, it's the most important thing she has. It's her body, it's her essence. You know what I mean? And everything that comes with it. You're supposed to get these things after she shows you what else she can do. And men need more than just sex to have a good, healthy relationship and feel love. Because men feel love through respect, not really through "I love you." It's about what you show him. Because men need facts and logic and straight lines and equations so we can feel at peace, because we have logical minds. Okay, we need structure. We need order. We cannot have chaos in our environment. We cannot have very unknown variables in our environment and still be happy. Like we need all these things, man. And videos like this kind of show that, man, we got a lot of work to do in terms of being more united. But the reality is, listen, I'm telling every man I can talk to, listen, these women is not going to tell you, "Hey, please, okay, I'm ready for you to be the leader of the community, and I'm ready to bow at your feet." It's not going to happen. Men are going to have to be excellent. And honestly, for the most part, the brothers are doing all right. More than half of black men are single and childless. A majority of black men are in the middle class. So we're not all in jail. We're not all uneducated. A lot of us are doing very well. 63% are in the middle class. So we're not even accounting for people who are in the elites and upper middle class. You know what I mean? So that might be a combined 11%. So less than 20%, maybe a quarter of black men are making less than $41,000 a year. Maybe a quarter. Or down bad, so to speak. But for the most part, black men are doing very well, And if we're going to get anywhere, we got to stop this entitlement. We got to stop having these conversations of, audition for me, and try to impress me, and I might give you something, Like back when I was dating, I lost my innocence, so I stopped looking at women from this innocent perspective. And I'll never forget this one date I went on. It actually was a pretty fun date. The girl was beautiful girl, but by this time, she just was too far gone. She's not really even understanding what her situation was. Like everything about the situation was just weird. Like she had a male roommate, probably her boyfriend, who knows. Told me a whole story about how she had a housewarming at her other place, and she had a boyfriend, and then she also invited her ex-boyfriend, and she made this really big stand about how she's not going to cut off any of her. Basically, she thinks men are her friends, and she's not cutting off any of her male friends, and all these different things. And this is very common when you talk to women who are over a certain age. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand that at this point we have not groomed our women to be ready at an early age, because we've prolonged this idea of youth. We can be youthful and be happy and be vibrant, but we cannot have men and women thinking that you're supposed to act like you're 19 years old for most of your 20s, and then when you're 30s, you act like you're 20. Because saying 30 is the new 20, shout out to Jay. I don't know if that helps. That didn't really help with our way of thinking, because again, you're seeing women in their 40s and 50s trying to dress like they're in their 20s. I saw a video that went viral, and I'm like, it's funny how people will put spins and captions on things, and then it couldn't be further from the truth. It was a video where it's a much older woman in very, very bad shape, and she had on one of these Fashion Nova outfits and whatnot, and they were putting it out there as, I don't know who told her to put it on. I guess her daughter or whoever gassed her to put this on, and they could record her walking by her husband and him looking and whatnot. And maybe don't get me wrong, like it's his wife. He used to he know how she look and stuff like that. But it's like, why do you want your mother online wearing such an unflattering piece of clothing? That clothing, not even that. It's not even just for a young girl. It's also for a lady of the night. Because when we were younger, that's how you knew who was selling their body or dancing. You had a good idea when you saw a woman. Oh, she danced. And say, she taking dates. You know what I mean? You had a good idea of that based on how she dressed. And in this video, they talking like, yeah, it was to the effect of, oh, he's seen her and he's going crazy. I mean, maybe, but that's not what I saw in that video. I mean, if he knew that y'all was recording and whatnot, he don't want nobody seeing his wife looking like that. But my point is just that if you're in your 20s, you should be getting ready for the next phase of your life and trying to mature into that direction, because you're in your 20s and your job is to set the example for the people coming behind you, not trying to be on the exact same thing that a 19, 20-year-old is on, and you're 29, 30 years old, or get into your 40s and whatnot, still trying to be able to say I look good. I'm like, no, if you want to look good, then work on looking good and whatnot. But looking good is not always looking young. I understand a woman wants to have a youthfulness. If you want to look youthful, man, stay in shape. Get in shape. Eat less, move more. If you want to look good, but dressing like a little girl is not doing anything. I'm like, again, we have to get rid of this immature mindset that we all seem to have when it comes to the community. Because I mean, again, black folks think everything is funny. We think everything is funny and everything is a joke. Nothing is sacred. Nothing is serious. And we can't get anywhere like that, man. I don't mean to preach nothing like that, but I mean, it was on Thon Lexy's channel. So he was doing like a reaction to it. And again, the lady was reacting to the video where the young girl called in and Kendra G show. And what's crazy was at the end, the young girl says, "It's giving pick me. It's giving pick." I'm like, fam, what? I'm like, do y'all realize how dumb that sounds? You sound like people. You know who y'all sound like? You sound like the part of the group in the math class that's all failing the class. And after class is done, y'all all go outside and talk shit about the professor and how the professor's incompetent, and never mind the fact that you're getting C's or you're about to fail this class again. And then you're talking about the people who are doing well and basically trying to rationalize that they're cheating somehow, or somehow you're. I don't know. I don't know what these girls. I don't know which I expect to get out of that. I'm like, because the people you're talking about people you're calling pygmies are women that men actually like. Men don't want to be challenged in that way. They don't want you to be uncooperative. They don't want you to be just not useful to them as a woman. A woman has to do more than just have sex. That's not what we're looking for. Okay? Like, you want me to come through and do more than have sex, right? Because I can't call myself a man if all I do is just be good at sex. You'd be like, no, we need them 4 P's, sir. No, we need you to go ahead and tackle these bills, sir. We need to take out that garbage. We need you to get these kids in order, sir. You know what I mean? We need you to be thinking about protection for the household, sir. All these different things, right? So anyway, I'm going to touch on that. 6 past commandments. I'm giving more content. I'm out here. I'm doing it. We're doing it. You know what I mean? We build the plane while we fly, Anyway, 6 past dice. We're trying to get this watch time up, so please like, share, subscribe to the video, and yeah, man. So we're gonna keep up in the content. I just wanted to kind of make sure that I get on here and I make the effort to give out some content. And it's never gonna be a perfect time, and that's what's kept me from making content, is wanting to have a perfect setup and all this type of stuff. And you will see a more professional setup in the future, but for right now, I can't keep wasting time, man. With no excuses. Let's get right to the shit. 6 past dice. I'll see you on the next one. And yeah, peace out. It's the 6 past command. Where is this daggone button at, man?